All right, let's dive in. We're going to be talking about the Athmalingam today, which is this incredibly unique consecrated stone. And really, we're exploring the hidden science behind it. Because, what might look like just a simple rock, well, it might just hold an entire universe of ancient knowledge.
So here's a question that a lot of people on a spiritual path run into, right? You talk about enlightenment, about the formless. So why are you worshiping a stone? It feels like a total contradiction, doesn't it? You're seeking this vast, infinite thing by focusing on a piece of rock. And that paradox, that's exactly what we're getting into today. Well, the answer, if you look at the ancient wisdom, isn't really about the object itself. It's all about perception. It's about shifting how you see things, learning to see the world not as a bunch of separate objects, but as a reflection of something way, way deeper. And this really gets to the core of it all. The idea is that what we see as reality is basically just a projection of how we see ourselves. So if you see yourself as just a physical body, well, then you're only going to see a physical world full of other bodies and objects. But if you start to see yourself as something more, as consciousness, as a soul, then suddenly you can start to see that very same soul, that same consciousness in everything, even in a simple stone.
So you gotta wonder, right? What did our ancestors see in a stone that we're just missing? Well, they didn't just see a lump of rock. They saw this hidden framework, this complex system of energies and elements where we might just see, an inert object.
They actually saw that a stone isn't just one thing. It's like a tiny universe, a microcosm that holds all 5 of the fundamental elements, the Panchabhutam. I mean, think about it. You rub 2 stones together, you get a spark. That's fire. Some stones always stay cool to the touch. That's water. They're porous, so there's air inside. They have internal gaps. That's space. And of course, the stone itself. That's earth. It's all right there. But they didn't stop there. Oh no, they went even deeper. Sages started discovering these really subtle properties. For example, they found that some stones could actually hold musical notes. You've probably heard of the famous musical steps at Darasuram. Or how certain temple pillars, when you strike them, ring just like metal instruments. And then there were others, carved with a hole that would sound like a conch shell when the wind blew through them. See, for them, a stone was never inert. It was just alive with potential. Okay, so if a stone has all this incredible hidden potential, the next logical question is, how do you awaken it, right? How do you take it from being just a thing and turn it into a source of real, tangible energy? And that, my friends, leads us straight to the powerful process of consecration. The ancient masters figured out that there were 3 keys, 3 absolutely essential conditions to unlock this power. It wasn't random. First, you had to have the right material. The specific nature and quality of the stone was critical. Second, the location. It had to be placed in a very specific, energetically charged spot on the earth. And third, the form. The exact shape, the geometry it was carved into. When you get those 3 things to align just right, that's when something truly extraordinary can happen. This whole process has a name. It's called prana prachishta. And here's a great way to think about it. Imagine the carefully chosen stone is like a brand new SIM card. It has all the potential in the world, but it's useless until it's activated, right? Well, prana pratishta is that activation process. It's where a siddha, a fully realized master, literally transfers their own life force, their prana, into the idol, flipping a switch and turning it into a living, breathing transmitter of energy. Now, it's really, really important to understand that this is not the same as the more common temple consecration you might have heard of, the Kumbhabhishekam. That's a beautiful, powerful ritual, don't get me wrong, and it's based on scripture. But prana pratishta, that is something else entirely. It's not a community event. It's this deeply personal, solitary act done by a siddha using their own life essence. And you absolutely cannot do it for money or fame because, frankly, the price is just way too high. And that is exactly why it is so incredibly rare. I mean, think about the risk. The process of actually transferring your life force out of your body and into a stone, it's beyond dangerous. It's perilous. There is absolutely no guarantee that the siddha soul will be able to get back into their body. The level of mastery and just sheer courage that this requires, it's almost unimaginable. Which brings us finally to the Athmalingam itself. This is a lingam that has gone through that exact rare, profound consecration, and it's unique for another reason too. It actually has 2 faces, one that you can see and one that's hidden. So the first face, the one that's visible to everyone, That's for the world. It's for people who are seeking well-being in their day-to-day lives, health, prosperity, success. It's there to address the material side of human existence. But then there's the second face. This one is hidden. You can't just walk up and see it. And this face isn't for worldly things at all. It's for the inner journey. It's for the seekers, the ones looking for a vision of the soul, the Atma.
And that, of course, leads to a pretty profound question, doesn't it? If the soul itself is this hidden thing deep inside of us, how on earth can a physical object represent it? I mean, how can you see something that, by its very definition, is supposed to be invisible?
Well, the answer is just brilliant. It's found in the method of how you view it. And this reveals the final and maybe the most profound teaching of the Athmalingam. It's not just a philosophy you read about. It's one that's embedded in the actual experience. Here's the thing. You can't see the second face directly. The only way to see it is by looking into a mirror that's placed in front of it. And this simple act reveals a fundamental spiritual truth. The soul, the Atma, can never be an object that you see. You can't look at it the way you look at a tree or a cloud. You can only ever perceive its reflection. And what happens when you look into that mirror? That's the whole point. It forces a choice. If you focus your attention on the reflection of the Athmalingam, something amazing happens. Your own image disappears. You see only the divine. But if you focus on your own reflection, on yourself, the Athmalingam vanishes. You can see one or you can see the other. You literally cannot see both at the same time. And so the choice is yours in that moment. What are you going to perceive, the divine or yourself? The masters who created the Athmalingam, they didn't put out ads or anything. No billboards. They simply said that whoever has the destiny for it, they will seek and they will find this temple. A final, powerful thought, isn't it? About this amazing intersection of destiny, seeking, science, and the soul.